Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching this. My name's Neil. As you know, the Wellbeing Guy. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the first of hopefully many Let's Chat sessions. Today, I am extremely honoured. I'm very proud to introduce to you the wonderful Phillipa Nicholson from the Neurodiversity Career Coach. Afternoon, mate. Um,
Hiya.
yeah, it gives me great pleasure to not only call Philippa an amazing person who's doing some fantastic work in the neurodiversity arena, within corporates, with individuals as well, but also after knowing you for what, a year and a half now? It's about that?
So yeah,
So, yeah, about that.
nearly two.
Yeah, nearly. We'll round up to two. Very proud to call her my friend as well. Because we met at it was the Excel, wasn't it? We first met.
It
Yeah, the
was.
business show. Yes,
Oh
yeah,
my God,
all
yes.
those times ago. And yeah, you were there in your previous guise, I think, as recruitment
Mm-hmm.
and,
Yeah.
and what have you. So I know all about you. And I say I love you to bits. I love what you're doing. We have regular chats, so this should be no problem whatsoever. Um, but first of all, so tell the whole wide world, who hopefully are listening, um, who you are, what you do, and how you got to the award, which we're going to come on to later. I know you don't want me to mention it, but I'm going to.
Mm.
How you got to this point and what do you do?
Wow. We've only got 30 minutes though, do you? Oh gosh. I don't know where to start. I started originally, my career started in the military, so I was in the RAF, as an airframe
you,
technician.
you weren't a pilot then?
No, but I did do the training. I did like go for the aptitude test for a pilot, but I've got a fear of drowning, so that was never really going to work.
Uh,
And I'm not a very good swimmer,
uh,
so
I
yeah.
don't. I think the
The
idea is
aptitude.
that I think the idea is that the planes don't go in the sea, do they?
I
Or
know
do
you
you
still
have to?
got a train in case you do crash in the
Right.
sea. So
Okay.
yeah, so I wouldn't have passed kind of that side. But yeah, so I was an airframe tech doing like engineering, building the fuselage of the airplanes. I wasn't in very long before I got medically discharged. I was attacked by a dog.
Ooh,
Left the RAF, felt a bit like, oh, what do I do now? Like my whole
yeah.
life's just
Panic.
changed. My dad, my granddad, and great granddad were all air traffic controllers, military and civvy.
Okay.
So my dad's, well, actually, they might be looking at a new intake. So why don't you start learning and come and join us? That's what I did. I spent 8 months learning everything I could learn, sitting in my bedroom at the age of like 19, 20 with a scanner, listening to all the planes in and out of
Back in the
Manchester
olden days.
back in the day with my scanner tuning it. So yeah, I had a 12-year career in air traffic, loved every minute. I took voluntary redundancy from a job that I loved. And then just felt a bit lost. I kind of dipped in and out of stuff. And when you work in something so unique, it's really difficult to find your purpose again. I felt like I never really belonged anywhere through
Yeah.
school or through work. I literally fell into recruitment. I saw a job and I was like, I don't actually know what they do.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think lots of people now kind of go into recruitment because they hear you can earn lots of money
mm,
and that's the main reason. It's kind of like a fallback.
yeah. Honestly, do you know, it wasn't even the money. I was like, well, I know they help people get jobs. So wouldn't it be really, really nice if I could actually make a difference, and do something to help people?
Yeah.
So maybe I went in under false apprehensions, but yeah, you can earn a lot of money in recruitment. But I quickly found that that is the only thing that a lot of people care about. They don't actually care about the people. They don't really care about the person you're meant to be help getting a job.
Yeah.
People are ringing really upset, really frustrated because they're not being treated fairly in work. And I kind of like jumped from one to another because I still didn't really find my place. In the end, I thought, sod this, I'm going to set up on my own because
If in doubt,
well,
I'm going
at
to do it
least I can.
myself. Increase my stress levels, and I can do this much better. Yeah,
So,
that sounds familiar somewhere.
honest to God, it's weird, isn't it? It's so weird. So I thought, well, I'll just do it on my own because then I'm not gonna have people telling me what I can and can't do, what I should and shan't, should and shouldn't do.
Yeah,
If I had one candidate ring me and she'd gone into quite quite a toxic workplace that she was in. And it was very much, no, just keep them stringing along till they hit rebate. It's not ideal. It's people's lives. It's people's mental
Yeah.
health. So I set up on my own. Never going to be a millionaire. I think the morals and the ethics come first. So, but something still wasn't right. And I noticed a pattern over time. Like I set up in 2018, I've noticed a pattern that more and more neurodivergent candidates were coming to me, but really struggling to kind of make a head
Yeah.
when it
Okay. So,
comes to applying or
so
interviewing.
yeah. So that's an interesting. Let's take a step back before we go, because I know obviously what neurodivergence is, and I'm pretty sure you do by now. So if you don't, we're in trouble. But for those listening or watching, what is neurodivergence, or is it neurodivergency, or is how what is the correct term, and what does it really mean?
Do you know what? It is what you want it to be. That's my opinion anyway. You can look it up, you can Google it, and you'll get some nice little definition on the NHS website or wherever you choose to go that says neurodiversity and neurodivergence is someone who has one or more conditions, that might be autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, But for me personally, it's all it is people that are just as good as you and I and the next person and the next person whose brain works a little bit differently. That's all it is.
Yeah,
We
because
process information differently.
I know on your or your LinkedIn posts, which if follow Philippa, make sure you do. I'll put your link at the end of this. Make sure you Philippa follow Philippa even at the end of this. But you have a hashtag you use, don't you? Is it divert? I can't
It's
remember what it is.
diverse, not less.
Diverse, not less, which I think sums up what you do, and ultimately, I suppose what, in my mind, what companies and HR managers and recruiters should be looking at. It's not if somebody is neurodivergent, if they have one of these many conditions, or they're not even labelled, and I think that's unfortunately what lots of people get these days. It's you have to be put into a box, and therefore that works against you. That even if somebody doesn't have one of their labels, hasn't been to a formal diagnosis or testing, what have you, even if their mind just works slightly different, it goes against them.
Yeah. It really, oh, I promise I wouldn't swear. It really annoys me. It really annoys me. Because you wouldn't go around a workplace. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember the Mallet's Mallet from when we were kids.
Oh, Timmy Mallet,
And you
yeah,
put like a plaster on someone's head as a loser. You could not
yeah,
do that now.
no,
It's not like we don't go around a workplace going, right, you're tall, you're short, you're fat, you're thin. So why are we trying to make workplaces go around going, you're autistic, you've got ADHD, you've got dyslexia? It's no different. So my fight and my argument now with companies, don't make your staff members have to put their hand up and go, I have X, Y, and Z. If you supported everybody equally and offered everybody the same thing, it won't matter which box they tick on your HR sheet. It won't matter which adjustments they need to be amazing at the job. Because to be quite honest, a lot of neurodiverse people are better at doing two jobs at once than most normal people are, most neurotypical people are.
yeah,
And some of the terminology and some of the language that's used as well at the moment, it's like, what's wrong with you? Nothing is wrong with me. What's
yeah,
right with me is I can
exactly.
hyper focus. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all
it's all
automatic.
negative.
Yeah, automatically seen as a negative and a problem that needs to be
Yeah,
overcome, rather than a wow, look
exactly.
at this amazing individual who can do this or this. The other, what kind of percentage now do you know of the workforce are, or people looking for jobs and what have you, are neurodivergent?
I think it's like 1 in 7 now.
Wow, so you look at like 15%. So
Yeah,
we're not
massive.
just talking about the odd little person, the
No.
odd person in a random place, are we? 1 in 7. Wow, that's
one in
that's
seven.
quite.
But that covers everything. So again, like as a company, as a business, what I don't just do the top four like most people. They'll go, oh, well, you've got autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia.
Yeah.
That's not it. That's not it. That's kind of the top of the alphabetical list of shed loads.
Yeah.
Like
How
we cover
many? How many
18
then?
different. Oh
18.
Christ, it is endless. We cover 18. There's 18 neurodiversities, in my opinion, that can and do have an impact on the workplace.
Wow. And I wonder
So
how many. I wonder how many people who are working in HR or any other department for that matter are even aware of not only the four but all the others anyway. And it's like, well,
the
again,
others.
it's that putting people into a box, isn't it? You may have one of
Mm,
the other kind of 14, but oh no, you must have this and this. And we're going to treat you differently. And
yeah,
is that? Do you think
exactly.
that's the biggest sort of I suppose problem within businesses from your side, regards to recruiting and supporting neurodivergent employees? Is it that they feel they have to be treated differently, or oh, it's too much hassle, or we don't have the resources to recruit somebody with a neurodivergent sort of outlook?
I think a lot of the companies I speak to, a lot of the HR and the people and culture people I speak to in businesses, I think there's this stigma, there's this perception that if they were to hire someone with a neurodivergence and they required reasonable adjustments to be able to fulfill their duties in whichever job they do, that's going to cost money, that's going to cost time. No one knows where to source it, no one knows how to do it. But the reality is, I think there's probably 50 reasonable adjustments that can be done either free or for less than £50. So
Right.
it's kind of like a predetermined assumption that this is going to cost time and money and resources, and nobody's got any spare time these days. Particularly HR teams, just by the nature of what they do, they've got so much to do. And I get a lot of it is complete, like it's lack of knowledge, it's lack of awareness. There's quite a few that I've spoken to. There's one company in particular I was talking to only last week, and they said, like, we will help support any of our neurodivergent staff, but we need them to bring us a list of what they need. But the reality is, a lot of
Mm.
neurodiverse people don't know what they need until it
Which
comes up.
which
They
is
need a
interesting
conversation.
because that's what I was going to kind of lead into is does somebody with any kind of neurodivergent condition do they know what they need? And you say about these sort of workplace adaptations and so what sort of thing we look at, and does an individual as an employee know, okay, it's currently this, I need it to be like this for it to suit the way my brain's mapped. Does an individual know what's out there and can be done?
I'll be honest with you, Neil, ask them. Can't
Uh,
speak for everyone. I could not say to you or a HR manager or a company director, I can't say for everyone you have that has ADHD, they need this, this, and this, because they won't. You've got to remember a lot of people, like they would have been masking a lot of their life. They might not have been diagnosed yet. They might not want to get a diagnosis.
yeah,
They know that they work in their way, and that's all there is to it. So the best way to know if you're supporting them is just flipping ask them. Just ask them
yeah,
outright. I know how I need to work, and I know how I work best. And that will vary depending on mindset and mood and external stresses, external pressures.
yeah.
But as long as the people around me, luckily, I work for me. So, my boss can be all right most of the time.
Yeah, bit of a pain, bit of a pain now and again.
Most of the time. But as long as I know that when I'm having those days, that some days I will know I'm going to go into hyper focus. I know I'm on the border of shutting down because I'm so
Yeah,
stressed. I'm so worried, and I know that's coming. So those days are the days that I will say, like my eldest son works for me. I'll say to him, right, Charlie, I need your help today. I need you to do this. I need you to help delegate this. And he will support me because I know it's coming. Other
yeah,
times, I'll still be sat here in the office at 11 at night, and my husband will come in and say, right, what the heck are you doing? It's 11 at night. And I still think it's 1 because there is not a tick box or a checklist
no,
or a predefined definition for any neurodiversity, in my opinion. Yes, there are traits and there are kind of common behaviors and common themes. But if you don't know, just flip and ask. We're all people, and that's what I try and get across a lot as well, particularly when I'm coaching. sort of individuals, employees, business owners, like you're you. You aren't a label, you aren't a diagnosis, you aren't a definition.
Or
You just
person.
work differently. So
Yeah,
just be bloody different, own it.
yeah.
So
Do you think people are ashamed to be neurodivergent still? Is it a label that
uh,
people don't want, or by the time they get to,
person,
I suppose, the age looking for a job, they're potentially have got used to the idea and feel comfortable in their own skin, or is it something that
hmm.
they want to kind of shy away from?
Personally, I think that is quite, that's on age, in my
Right.
opinion, anyway. People that I've coached and companies I've spoken with, it seems kind of people more of our era because it
Ah,
wasn't.
what? Oh, careful.
You
How
older than me.
rude. How rude.
No.
Come
Okay,
on,
so
you can go off people.
you
You know all that
kind of
nice stuff I said at the beginning? Bin that all off.
take
God,
it
dearie
back.
me. Yeah.
She's rude. I'm not cool enough to know what all the generations are. You look like I'm on the wrong side of 40, so but I think people that are kind of from the 80s, it was very much sit down, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're
Yeah.
naughty, or you're disruptive, or we'll just get rid of them because they're a pain. I think now because there's so much more awareness and so much more research, the younger generation, whatever generation we're up to with kind of the late teens, early 20s, I think they've been encouraged to own it. They've been encouraged to be like, yeah, do you know what? I am what I am. I am different. I am who I
Yeah.
am. But I do find some of the people that I coach that are kind of my era,
Yeah. Thank you.
our era.
Oi.
I do think some of the people I coach that are kind of from the 80s or maybe the 70s even, it's very much it didn't exist.
Yeah.
So, we were brought up that, if you had kind of a neurodiversity like autism or ADHD, you were just naughty, you couldn't learn,
Naughty.
you couldn't concentrate, and to be honest, you'd never work a job in your life because you weren't good enough to work,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
absolute crap.
Yeah.
But
It is.
that was our time. So
Yeah. I
I
think
find I
that's,
do, yeah, I do think it depends on a lot of factors, but there is still obviously a big stigma around like the disclosure
yeah. Yeah.
conversation.
I think that the way the world has moved on and progressed for the better, for sure. Yes, it's better that people are able to be themselves. It's obviously worse that, in this case, a lot of people aren't accepted for it. There is still a long way to go. But I'm speaking to so my son Charlie, like your son Charlie, they are similar ages because we are similar ages and all that. And him and his peers are so open about mental health and their
Oh yeah.
well-being, and and talking about going to seek help and talking to people and just being really open about it, which is just brilliant. So, bringing neurodivergency into well-being, are there certain areas? Is it mental, physical, kind of emotional side of things that you think that, from your experience, and that's why you're here because you are so experienced and brilliant at what you do. From your experience, are there certain areas of well-being that neurodivergent people struggle with more than others? Do you think?
Oh, do you know? Again, I can't speak for everybody. Every single person is different. Like men. So for me personally, kind of like I'm very late to the party. It was only the more research I did for this business over the last kind of 12, 18 months, the more I went, oh my God, that's me. Oh Jesus, that's
Yeah.
me. Oh sugar, that. Oh my God,
You
that's
you
me.
just you just been told you were naughty before, hadn't you?
Oh my God, yeah. No, you know what? I was just a kid that either swore too much or never shut up or didn't say a word. I was
Right.
the one that loved maths but didn't interact with people. So yeah, but for me, like mental health wise, my biggest downfall is my mindset. It's the confidence. Like I still even now don't believe I'm good enough. I shouldn't be here talking to you because I don't deserve it. I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm doing, I've always felt,
So
yeah, mine was my confidence.
extreme imposter syndrome sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like I literally, yeah, even like the award ceremony, walking downstairs, I was like, I don't belong in this room with these other people. I'm
I'm so
tall.
glad you just mentioned that. And you
You're
can't
very
blame me for
welcome.
mentioning.
Take it back. I
Yeah,
take it back.
yeah, you can't blame
Drinking my
me for mentioning
brew.
that. So please, because having seen it on, because I can remember, what was it, a year ago? Well, must have been over a year ago. We had a conversation, didn't we? And you were umming and ahhing. You're like, I've got this great idea, and I think you were hoping hoping to ask somebody to basically either put you off or then to be able to blame if it didn't work. So and that fell on
Basically,
my
yeah.
shoulder. That fell on my shoulders. So we were having a chat, weren't we? And you're like, I've got this idea about recruitment and neurodivergency. It's a massive, massive thing. From that stage, and I think if I told you to do it, was just do it, do it. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, it's going to cost you a load of time and effort, but you can make a big difference. From that conversation, you've gone through loads and loads of steps, and we catch up regularly about it, which I find brilliant because, as you can probably tell, everybody who's listening, we don't have a problem talking, Philippa and I. But tell everybody about from that phone conversation what award you've recently won.
I even feel stupid saying it.
No, I'm
I
so
am
proud of you.
proud. I am proud to announce I've just won the Hero of the Year for thank you, for the British Diversity Awards, which was sponsored by Boots, and headline sponsor was the London Stock Exchange Group.
Which is amazing. It's
I
so
know.
good. Just goes to show from small acorns and all that, and silly conversations that we've had many over the time. They're not
Hells yeah.
always they're not always they're not always as focused as this. But that's
No.
amazing what you do. So I like to, as you know me by now, I like to champion good good things as well as bad things and highlight good kind of working practices and people that are doing things well. Okay. So in your opinion, now's the time to shout out if you feel comfortable to. Now, this is a bit of a throw one in there. Do you have any good examples of companies that are doing things well, doing the neurodivergency thing, if that's
Yeah.
what you want to call it, or they get it for want of a better phrase? Because that's a term
Mm.
that in well-being I see all the time. It'd just be nice if my company got it, or it's nice to work for a company that gets it. So
Yeah.
now's the time for you to
Oh,
shout, and you're not just allowed to say people who you've recruited for because you're looking for more work.
oh God damn it.
So who's doing it?
No,
Who's
I
doing
wouldn't.
it? Who's
Do you know
cracking
what
them up?
though? Honestly, I have to say, at the British Diversity Awards, so at the awards ceremony, I met so many like amazing people, and it was really, I think it was like 1,400 people in the room or something like that, and everybody was there with the same cause, the same reason. There was loads of celebrities there. I was a little bit like swoon over Dr. Ranj Singh. Oh.
Did you do a speech and goes for you, doctor?
Yeah, I was like, I got to touch him. I got to hug him.
You've not watched
And
yet, have you?
yeah, no, I still won't watch my speech. There were many other amazing celebrities there, I'll have you know. But no, there
Yeah,
were some wonderful people, some amazing companies and charities. I think for me, like Capgemini, they're doing some awesome things. National Grid, they seem to have quite a lot of in-house initiatives for their staff, which is brilliant. Obviously, every finalist there I spoke to is there for a reason, and they're there because they're doing amazing things. I have to say, one company that I've been desperate to work with, and I don't think I ever will because I don't think they need me, is Zurich Insurance. So they
okay.
are absolutely screaming neurodiversity right now. What they're doing is amazing to the point they're even offering any employee kind of like a free diagnosis. You don't have to sit on the NHS waiting list for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You don't have to pay thousands to go private. You can get yourself a neurodiversity diagnosis as an employee. I just think what they're doing from like really stands out for me because they are
Yeah,
genuinely going above and beyond
yeah.
like any
Wow.
other company I've come across, which is it's a bit gutting, like because I'd love to work with them, but
But
they're
if
doing
they're doing
awesome
it,
stuff.
they're doing it. Yeah. So well
Yeah,
done, Zurich. Pat on the
yeah. But
back.
if
But
you're
if you need
listening,
anything
hook me
else,
up on the
yeah,
workshops.
indeed. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So um, it's been absolutely fascinating as always to speak to you, mate. We always have a laugh. And we get our messages across to each other, whether it's well-being for you, for me telling you what's going on at the moment, so you understand it, or neurodiversity and worthwhile. So if you had to sum up everything you're doing at the moment, very simply for people, whether they're working as individuals and are looking for jobs, whether if they are neurodivergent themselves, or for companies who are looking to recruit. So all your recruitment agents out there, or your HR people, or your people and culture people, everybody with an organization, what little snippet of knowledge from inside award-winning Phillipa Nicholson's brain would you go for? No pressure.
Thanks. Do you know, all I can think of is the tagline that I use, like, own your awesome. Have the pride and the confidence to own your awesome. And if you're a company, let your staff own it. Support them in owning it. Realize that they are actually pretty frigging awesome.
Yeah.
All I can
Which
think
is
of right now.
what an amazing way to finish. So thank you, Phillipa, for your time. You are a legend. I will reiterate saying I'm very proud to know you, to what you do, to call you my friend.
My
um,
buddy.
and thank you. I couldn't have wished for anybody better for the first of these Let's Chat sessions with me, the wellbeing guy. I will put up your information afterwards. If you are looking for recruitment, neurodivergency information, workshops, all of these amazing things that Phillipa does, follow her on LinkedIn. There's some great content on there that she pops on there, some really useful stuff. So follow her on LinkedIn, have a look at her website, which is what, Phillipa?
It's Phillipa, Phillipa -N for November.com.
There you go, Phillipa-N.com. Have a look at the website, have a chat with Phillipa if you're looking for anything. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, listening, however you've absorbed this new piece of content. If you liked it, give it a massive thumbs up. Please spread it. And I look forward to hosting the next one. Probably with nobody, no, or somebody not quite as awesome as Phillipa, but I'll try my best. So from me, it's goodbye. From Phillipa, it's goodbye,
Bye.
Phillipa. Goodbye. But you
I
get the
like
gist.
that.
So thanks for listening, folks, and I will see you very soon. Take care.
Bye.